Revelation chapter 5 verse 1. And I saw at the right hand of the one sitting on the throne a scroll written inside and on the back, sealed with 7 seals. The magnificent liturgy in the throne room is interrupted for a moment as everyone's eyes focus on the throne. As John watches, he sees a scroll on the throne at the right hand of God. Scrolls were a common medium of writing in John's day. In ancient Israel, thrones were large enough for more than one person to sit on. To sit at the right side of the king was the highest place of honor, 1 Kings 2 verse 19. So Bathsheba went to King Solomon to speak to him on behalf of Adonijah. And the king rose to meet her and bowed down to her. Then he sat on his throne and had a seat brought for the king's mother, and she sat on his right. The Israelites understood that the king in Israel sat at God's right side as co-ruler with God. Psalm 80 verse 17, but let your hand be on the man of your right hand, the Son of Man whom you have made strong for yourself. Chapter 110 verse 1 in the same book. The Lord says to my Lord, sit at my right hand, until I make your enemies your footstool. The scroll lying on the throne implies that the person who takes the scroll is to take its place on the throne. Thus, when Jesus a few moments later picked up the scroll, Revelation 5 verse 8, he took his seat on the throne at the right hand of the Father, thereby assuming his role as the new ruler of the Davidic royal line. Chapter 5 verse 5. The scroll is described as an apostograph, a document written on both sides, inside and on the back. While this implies a great amount of written material, it also brings to mind the 2 tablets of the testimony that Moses brought down from Mount Sinai, which were written on both sides. They were written on one side and the other, Exodus 32:15. Then Moses turned and went down from the mountain with the 2 tablets of the testimony in his hand, tablets that were written on both sides, on the front and on the back they were written. Likewise, Ezekiel saw in his vision a scroll spread before him that had writing, on the front and back, containing the impending judgments against Israel. Ezekiel chapter 2 verse 9 and 10, and when I looked, behold, a hand was stretched out to me, and behold, a scroll of a book was in it. And he spread it before me. And it had writing on the front and on the back, and there were written on it words of lamentation and mourning and woe. This suggests that the scroll of Revelation 5 concerns God's covenant with his people and the prophetic revelation of the future. The scroll is sealed with 7 seals. In ancient times, to ratify the contents of a legal document, an impression was made with a ring at the end of the content. However, to protect the document from tampering, it was rolled up and tied with threads, and the seal was impressed in blobs of clay or wax at the knots. Because of this, the document could not be opened nor its contents disclosed until the seal was broken. Only an authorized person could break the seals and open the document. That the scroll was sealed with 7 seals shows that it was totally and securely sealed. For nobody in the entire universe could open it and read its contents, Revelation 5 verse 3, and no one in heaven or on earth or under the earth was able to open the scroll or to look into it. In John's day, the practice of sealing documents with more than 1 seal was not uncommon. Roman law dictated that to prove its contents were valid, a will or testament had to be sealed with a minimum of 7 seals belonging to the document's witnesses. The symbolic scroll John saw in the vision was like a legal document rolled up, tied with a cord, and sealed along the outside edge with seals of wax affixed to the knots. As such, it could not be opened nor could its contents be disclosed until all 7 seals were broken. Breaking the 7 seals is preparatory to opening the scroll and disclosing its contents. Revelation 6 verse 1. Now I watched when the Lamb opened one of the 7 seals, and I heard one of the 4 living creatures say with a voice like thunder, "Come." Daniel and Revelation show that the idea of sealing denotes a concealment of God's revelation until the appointed time because of people's inability to understand it. Daniel 12 verse 4 and 9, but you, Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, until the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. Verse 9, I heard, but I did not understand. Then I said, O my Lord, what shall be the outcome of these things? He said, "Go your way, Daniel, for the words are shut up and sealed until the time of the end." The scroll in Revelation 5 is sealed for the obvious purpose of concealing its contents and keeping them hidden. Because it is sealed, nobody is able to open the scroll or to look into it. Chapter 5 verse 3. It is not possible to open it and disclose its contents, unless an authorized person breaks all the seals. There are many views regarding what exactly the sealed scroll stands for. However, Revelation 10 verse 7 shows that its contents are related to the mystery of God, with regard to God's purpose to solve the problem of sin, to save fallen humanity, and to establish his eternal kingdom. This mystery has been hidden for ages, but it has been revealed, in part, with the coming of Christ and the preaching of the gospel. However, it is at the sound of the seventh trumpet that this mystery will ultimately be realized. Revelation 10 verse 7. But that in the days of the trumpet call to be sounded by the seventh angel, the mystery of God would be fulfilled, just as he announced to his servants the prophets.